Good morning from Egypt and welcome to Suez. In my last video, I rode my motorcycle from Cairo to here, and today we are going to be exploring the city. So as I mentioned before, Suez is a very important city. It lies on the northern end of the Red Sea's Gulf of Suez, making it one of Egypt's most strategically important cities, not so much for tourism, but for its global impact. Because, of course, it is the southern gateway to the Suez Canal, which is what we are overlooking right now. And this canal is so important because it allows ships to avoid sailing around the whole of Africa, which saves, of course, billions of dollars every day and about 2 weeks of transit for ships. So it is a major artery of global commerce, and actually about 10 to 12% of all global maritime trade passes through here. So it is a very important choke point for global shipping. Yeah. Unfortunately, this is the point where security and military personnel informed me that filming here wasn't permitted with my action camera. I asked them if I could film with my camera phone, which they told me was fine, and that is what you are seeing now. But what gets shipped through here, you might ask? A lot. Crude oil and refined petroleum from the Persian Gulf and Red Sea get shipped to Europe and North America, although a lot of that has been disrupted since the whole Strait of Hormuz blockade. But also electronics, machinery, clothing, and consumer products coming from Asia get shipped to Europe through here. Grain, minerals, coal, and chemicals, even food and cars pass through here to supply markets around the world. Shortly after switching to my mobile phone to record, the military and security personnel returned and told me filming was not permitted at all, whether with an action camera or a mobile phone. At which point, I decided to leave the area. All right, guys, we are on the bike now. I have left that area since, unfortunately, filming was forbidden there, apparently. I thought I could use my mobile phone even, but then I was told I couldn't do that. Then they said, well, you can film this section, but not that section. So I filmed a little bit before being told that, which is a pity. But I mean, I guess, you know, it's an important canal, you know, so they don't want you filming there. But we're gonna drive around the city, cruise around, get a look at it. And right now I am actually trying to follow the canal a little bit further up. Maybe there's an area where it is okay for filming, you know, and maybe it was just that section. So anyways, let's just talk a little bit about history again. Here in Suez. Call to prayer. But yeah, the canal was opened in 1869, and obviously that totally changed global trade. But canals in Egypt actually go back way further, to ancient times, to pharaonic times, over 4,000 years ago. Maybe you guys remember me actually talking about the Canal of Pharaohs in my motorcycle video where I crashed. I think that's like episode 384 or something. But as I was driving, I was talking about how I was traveling an ancient trade route on my way from Zaazit to Ismailia. So yeah, the ideas of canals here is nothing new. The ancient Egyptians had networks of canals and river channels that they were trading through. So like the canals connected the Nile River to the Red Sea, and they were receiving and trading things like gold, incense, and spices from the Red Sea. So yeah, it was a big thing back in the day in ancient times. Pharaoh Senusret III is the most well known for those systems of canals, building those canals. But I mean, obviously it wasn't one continuous canal. What is this, a one-way? I don't think so. Obviously it wasn't a continuous canal like the Suez Canal is today, connecting the Mediterranean to the Red Sea, but it was a system, a bit of river channels, canals that they built, overland transport that allowed them to connect and trade with all these regions around them. So very amazing. The canals was not invented by the Suez Canal, but it is, of course, has changed global commerce today.
Hello, quick interruption to the video because I always forget to mention this, but if you guys are making a trip to Egypt and are looking for someone to help you plan your trip, looking for a tour guide or a driver, my husband and I can help because we connect people with great drivers and tour guides that we know and trust. We help organize itineraries, give suggestions. So yeah, if you are interested in doing that, you can reach us on WhatsApp. I always leave the number to our WhatsApp in the description of the video. Now let's get back to the video.
So yeah, they've gone back a long time. These canals go back to ancient times. Archeologists have found remnants of these canals in the northeastern corridor, desert corridor, which is roughly where the Suez Canal exists now, and in regions like Ismailia and the Bitter Lakes, and we are going to be going to those places after Suez. So yeah, this whole region, this whole area was it had ancient canals running through it. Pretty amazing, the ancients thought of it, we're doing it, and even today it is of vital importance, this strip of land between the two continents, Asia and Africa. So I didn't get to mention it in the beginning when I was filming because I was told to stop filming, but right across the canal is Sinai and Asia. So this is where the two continents meet. We're in Africa, but on the other side of the canal it is Asia and the Sinai Peninsula. Still, of course, a part of Egypt, but changing of a continent. So really amazing. Anyways, I guess we're gonna follow this road and see how close we can get to actually seeing anything if it's not extremely protected. I hope we can see more. I really want to see some ships going through. I mean, I saw a bit, and you can actually see a fair amount from my hotel, thankfully, so I can freely film on the rooftop of the hotel, but apparently being close down on the ground is Mimnua, forbidden. Anyhow, so this is a brief look at the city. We're going to go cruising around to other areas, but again, I just want to see, if we can follow the canal up, and clearly we cannot. This road is blocked off. Suez Canal. Nope, not this way. Let's go over here. Anyways, so back to modern Suez. This city was founded because of the canal. I mean, settlements, of course, have been living in these areas for thousands of years, and people were using the city as a port before the Suez Canal, but it really became a big settlement once the Suez Canal was when they started building that, and I think it was like the year 1859. It opened in 1869. But there were some significant events that happened in regards to the city and the canal, such as the Suez Canal crisis. That's actually what the West calls it. So in Egypt, they call it the Tripartite aggression, because three nations, France, the UK, and Israel, were invaded Egypt and seized the Sinai Peninsula because, well, basically they weren't getting a cut of the cookie and they were pissed about that. But they failed. Egypt did maintain control of their land, their territory, and the canal. So it was definitely a victory for Egypt, like post-colonial times, you know. But there's a lot of different significant moments in this city. Another major event happened in 1967 during the Six-Day War, or as it's known in Egypt, the Naksa, which means setback. Basically, the canal was actually, this is a dead end, I'm gonna have to turn around. The canal was closed for 12 years, making ships sail around Africa again, down to the Cape of Good Hope near South Africa, which is really wild to think about that happening. So basically what happened during the Naksa was Israel invaded Egypt and seized parts of the Sinai, and so they were controlling the canal from the east side, and Egypt was controlling it from the west side, and both countries put naval mines in the water, which of course stopped commercial shipping. There was actually a group of ships that were in there when that began, and they got stuck in there for years. It's called the Yellow Fleet, and you can look that up. Anyways, yeah, it was not a good time, and obviously it was a setback for Egypt and a defeat for Egypt. And the closure of the canal obviously halted one of the world's busiest trade routes, global maritime trade routes. So yes, it was a complete disaster. And those events actually led to the 6th of October War, which happened in 1973. Egypt launched a surprise attack across the canal, took back parts of Sinai, and yeah, eventually that led to a ceasefire and a treaty, and a few years later they received all of their land back again on the Sinai Peninsula. But yeah, anyways, it was a militarized zone for a number of years. So, you know, with them not being allowed to film, it is an important, very vital, important part of Egypt and their economy, and it was a focal point for the war in the past. And so yeah, it's just a highly important area, hence all the security. And I didn't think that I was going to have an issue. I just didn't think about it. But I am not surprised actually that they didn't let me film, now that I think about it. Anyways, so yeah, that's just a little bit of history of this city, of the canal. It doesn't seem like I'm actually going to be able to follow it up. That road that I tried to follow, it was blocked, and I have not seen a way through. I guess maybe they really keep it under wraps. I mean, you have crazy people out there that try to do crazy stuff, so I guess it's important to keep the canal safe. Even though I just want to go and film and check it out, it is what it is. But let's go film more parts of the city. And explore. Yeah, let's just go explore more of the city and maybe get some seafood, because seafood is very popular here. All right, back to a little bit more of a populated area. What a view! Look at that. Wow, these mountains are just gorgeous. So maybe we'll go drive by the Corniche. I actually did see people out there the other day. It looked quite busy. A lot of women and children and families hanging out along the Corniche in this park area. Oh, here it is already. And maybe I'll jump off the bike and kind of wander in. We'll have to cross the street to get to the other side. But yeah, it's a small little city. Mostly, you know, about trade. Again, it's not really a huge city that a lot of tourists visit, especially international tourists at least. But it is beautiful. I like Little Suez from the bit that I've seen. And I'm going to get some seafood somewhere. Maybe I should drive up a little bit further. Anyways, we will see more of the canal later. You know, this isn't the only city that we'll be going through that has the canal. So we'll have opportunities in upcoming episodes and vlogs where we'll have a chance to see different parts of the canal. I do think we're actually entering the city and passing by the Corniche. Well, let's just do a quick cruise around, I guess. Why not? Wow, that looks very beautiful down there as well. So these are what the buildings look like. They're more colorful than the buildings in Cairo, I've noticed. I feel like they're shabby and they're worn down and all of that, which is typical of a lot of buildings in Egypt around the country. But they're more colorful. So the paint may be worn, but still. An interesting look at the city. Of course, I don't know a lot about the city, so beyond the history that I've given, I don't know like neighborhoods and if there's one better neighborhood to show than another. But as someone who's just coming through, this is my impression of it. Not too busy, not too crazy. I like that they have these palm trees lined down the streets. That makes it very beautiful. Yeah. Anyways, let's turn around when we can and head over to the Corniche and just get a view over there. Just a few glimpses, guys. And actually, I was talking about this in the video where I drove into the Delta, or into Suez, but the last video. But since I lost all of that audio, I guess you guys didn't hear me say it. But the cities near the water, not inland in the Delta, have more options for hotels. And from the looks of it, more decent hotels. While I was traveling around in the Nile Delta inland, it was harder to find decent hotels. I mean, I ended up finding one in Banha, which was actually very nice. But that was, I almost didn't find any hotel. I think it was the only hotel there and it had just opened up. In Mansoura, I ended up going with an Airbnb because the hotels to me were just not great. Should I turn around or keep going? Sorry if you want me to keep going. I am turning around. Let's go to the Corniche. Can't have this video be 3 hours long, you know. But yeah, so the Airbnb in Mansoura was nice, but I did a lot of searching to find something halfway decent. And in San al-Hagar, there was like literally only one option, which was like that homestay with the family. That was cool. I really enjoyed that. But again, almost no options. I was lucky to find that. And then in Za'azit, that was the worst accommodation ever. Would not recommend staying at that booking. It was like an apartment that I found on Booking, and it was filthy. And Yeah, I wasn't a fan. Anyways, so like along the coast, along the canal, it's just easier to find. You can go accommodation, and nice accommodation. So that's a bonus for this journey. Now that I'm not inland and deep inland, having more opportunity to find something nice. Like, I'm not very picky normally, but I do like something that is clean. I will say that. I appreciate cleanliness. It does not need to be fancy or luxurious or even have a good view. I can get out and go look at views. But cleanliness is something I am, that's what I'm going to complain. And I mean, it doesn't need to be super clean either, actually. I just don't want it to be filthy. I don't want to go on forever about that place in Zazik, but seriously, when you go in and there's garbage in the bathtub and a mop bucket of dirty water that had been sitting there for God only knows how long, and everything was covered in dust, and the sheets smelled like not like clean. Yeah. Not to mention all the other issues with the key and the Wi-Fi and all that. The lock broke while I was staying there. Anyhow, okay, so where are we going? I think I need to go up a little bit more. This is what it says. I love Suez. Okay, girl, you go ahead because she's not even glancing over. Okay, guess I will go. Women drivers. They're both women. Sorry, women, but I often notice women drivers in Egypt to be the worst. Wish it weren't so, but can't help but speak the truth. Move it. Move it. I think I'm going right up here. All right, let's see what's down this street. I think their waterfront is so long. There's just so much water everywhere, which makes it very breezy, cool, and beautiful. They have all of these trees. Yeah, gorgeous. I am not going to go all the way down, but let's turn here and just look at the water. Yeah, here we go. Just really quickly. So you have all of this water. Oh, you can even go down there with a motorcycle? That's nice. Should have done that. That's my hotel. You see that big ship over there? That's right next to where my hotel is. So I'm really just at the pier point. This area would be the port of Tawfiq. And then beyond that large ship or dock is the canal of Suez, the Suez Canal. So wow, what a beautiful little city. Now it's just about finding some seafood. There's another Corniche across the way there. Maybe I'll stop there later. It depends on how long this video ends up being. And it's still pretty early in the day as well. But let me check and see if the seafood place is open yet. and then maybe we'll head there. Yalla, bina. Okay, it does seem like I do have to backtrack a little bit to get this seafood, but I think honestly this Corniche is even more popular. I saw more people along it, but let's just go get some seafood. There's a lot of wow, let's talk about slowing down a lot, dude. There's a lot of space to walk along the sea here, and there's a U-turn. Kids. I don't like kids. I don't like teenagers. Because they just follow you and shout at you and drive too close, say things. Yeah. Keep going, kids. I don't like it. Especially while I'm riding, you know? Trying to like drive and stay focused, and you got crazy teenagers zooming around you. Anyways, good, they've gone ahead. So we are gonna go get some seafood at a place called Fares. I was recommended it by a few people at the hotel. Now, normally I like to go to like more local places, but I think this place is not super local. I mean, when I say local, I mean like cheap and everyone goes there. I don't know. I mean, like Fares has a lot of reviews on the internet. Again, this city is not like a big tourist destination, at least for international tourists. So whoever's going there, they're Egyptians and they're saying it's good. But I'm just, I could find something a little bit more for the common people, because I think this place is kind of expensive. But we have plenty of time to try different seafood and eat at many different types of places on this trip. Because, yeah, we'll be by the water for a lot of it. So let's go and see. Google Maps, you are horrible at directions. Let's go and see about this seafood. Go. So when I first came into the city, it was like a very industrial area. It kind of reminded me of like El Max in Alexandria, just like with all the factories and like just so industrial looking and smelling. But I'm glad that today is beautiful. It is sunny and we're able to see more of the city. I feel like this is the like business district. When I was coming in, I saw a lot of these governmental looking buildings or like bank stuff. Yeah, you have this statue of a soldier. Looks like he's leading people to victory or calling people forward to march. Okay, this is Fares. It looks like, how am I supposed to go there? Can't just park here. Is this a bad place to park though? I feel like it is. Just kind of around a corner. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's go somewhere else. Ah, perfect. Up here we'll be fine to park. I don't know if I'm allowed to park here, but I want to go to Fares. Alright guys, I'll see you. Alright, I just left my bike there. Hopefully it's fine. Here we are at Fares. Are they open is the question. Let's go find out. Oh, I think I see some people sitting here, so they are open. Yeah. Putting out all that fresh fish. Oh, let's go look at the fish. All right, let me get a table and I'll be back. So I have been seated here in Fares Seafood and Grill. They have the most extensive menu I have ever seen. It's just a scannable menu, and I took a few photos so you guys could kind of get the idea, but it is so long. It starts off with, first I actually had to have the guy change the language because it gave it a language change option, but it was written in Arabic, so I'm like, I don't know what that says, man. Anyways, so the first offer that they have, or they have a list of offers, which is a lot of different things. And then you have soups, a lot of different types of seafood soups and salads, some seafood salads, but then a lot of your typical Egyptian salads like tahina and baba ganoush and all of that. And then a very long list of fresh fish and phosphorus. Look at this. I don't know if you can, it just goes on and on with all these different fares fish, kash fish, denise, sea bass, mullet, on and on and on it goes. Yeah, I don't even know, when does it end? Still, then we have fajita fish. I don't know what that means. I guess probably just with some vegetables. You have seafood dishes, fish side dishes, seafood pasta. It goes on forever. And then the menu continues into more your traditional menu that you would find anywhere with Oriental food, like meat or cheese sambusa, rice dishes and pastas and mixed grills, and like your typical not seafood related items. But yeah, it's a huge menu. What did I order? I didn't even order anything off the menu. I was like, okay, this is what I want. Clean shrimp, because a lot of times you ask for shrimp and it is not cleaned, and well, I don't know, you guys know I'm not good with ordering seafood. I'm not familiar with it. In English, the words I'm not familiar with, and let alone Arabic. But I ordered a quarter kilo of shrimp. 1 kilo was, let's see, what did I say it was? 1,750 Egyptian pounds. Obviously, I did not order a kilo, so a quarter kilo comes to about 438 Egyptian pounds, I guess. How did I order it? Well, actually, I asked my husband how to say clean shrimp. So it's gambari mit nadaf. Nadaf is to like clean, nadaf, right? And then gambari is shrimp. So gambari mit nadaf means clean shrimp. And then he was like, do you want it fried or grilled? I think he asked fried. I already forgot the word, but I know mashwiya means matli, I think he said. Anyways, I just went with grilled, but butterflied, I think, in a sauce, butter sauce. I'm always a little bit in for a surprise when I order seafood because I don't know what I'm doing when I'm ordering it. But I'm excited to have some shrimp because shrimp is supposed to be pretty famous here in Suez. I feel like every city is famous for shrimp or some other types of fish. I also heard that denise was very popular here and buri, but I'm feeling more like shrimp today, so that's what I'm getting. I forgot what the translations for that are. Okay, so I guess denise is sea bream and buri is gray mullet. I don't know what either of those fishes are. I know the English names because I looked it up. What does it mean? What does it look like? How does it taste? What are their bones like? I don't know. Anyways, so let's wait for this food to arrive. I also ordered a lamoun nana. Of course, that's my go-to drink here in Egypt. It's very delicious. So I'll see you when the food arrives. While we're waiting for the food, we're gonna get a look at the fish. He's gonna show us. Isn't it Yusuf? Ahlan wa sahlan. Okay. Yeah, so I filmed briefly, but I don't think the lights were on. Fresh fish. Fresh fish from the Suez Canal, from the Red Sea. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that thing. It's huge. Nope, I'm not going to touch it. Wow. And we have more over here as well. Shrimp, crab, big shrimp. That's what I ordered, huh?
اكلت ده.
Oh, wow. And squid. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Nice. Hello. شكرا يوسف. مع السلامة. Nice. Yeah, I just wanted to get a look at some of the fresh stuff that they have. So a lot of seafood restaurants, when you go, they have the fish displayed and you can just choose the fish that you want. Anyways, all right, I'm gonna wait for the shrimp. I ordered the big shrimp. I'm still waiting for the food, but as I was sitting here, I noticed their placemat that they seem to have a lot of locations, this restaurant, not just here in Suez. See that there's New Cairo, Al-Maza, Suez, Sharm el-Sheikh. Wow, wow. 4 locations in Sharm el-Sheikh. That is a lot. And then of course they did bring me some bread and some limes or lemons in preparation for the shrimp to arrive. But look at this drink. Wow. What a presentation. Look how they peeled this lime and rippled it, like flaring out. Very beautiful. Mint sticking out here. So that is the most decorative lemon mint I have ever ordered. Very beautiful. Let's try it and see how it is. Wow, that is balanced perfectly. That is really good. It's not too sweet. It's not too lemony. It's perfect. I love it. That's really good. Pares. It is a more spendy restaurant than a local spot, I believe. I don't know how much a kilo of shrimp would cost from like a shabby, like local spot, but I'm sure quite a bit less than here. But I imagine it's going to be very delicious here. I'm excited to eat it. So, see you soon when it's here. And the shrimp has arrived. Look at this beauty. Oh my God, what a beautiful presentation. I'm excited to dig in, so let's do that. This drink is beautiful, this shrimp is beautiful. Look at the size of that. And it is just dripping in this butter. Wow, okay, let's just go for it. It's, oh yes, so I can just pull out, comes off so smoothly. Wow, oh my God, we just, amazing. Let's try it. That is so good. Oh, it melts in my mouth. And this butter. That's decadent, you guys, but light. Doesn't decadent mean heavy? I don't know. It is glorious. It is luxurious. Doesn't even need any lemon. Oh man. Yeah, and that sauce. Am I supposed to eat it with an orange, or is it just for decoration? Let's try. I think it's just for decoration. I mean, I prefer it without the orange. Oh, so good. Amazing. What is this? Am I supposed to eat this, guys? Someone who knows about seafood and shrimp. Should I crack it open and eat it? Oh, it looks like it's empty anyways. I feel like someone would say, like, that's the best part or something. Just suck it out. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not going to. Oh my God. Really amazing though. Look at this. Oh, wow. That is a big shrimp. God, it's huge. Okay, let's eat another one. This is amazing. It tastes amazing. So that's what fresh seafood tastes like. Amazing, right? Wow. I am astonished at how big that is. Let's try more. Gotta get some of this lemon mint action. This is the life. It's like living in luxury. That's perfect. Shrimp and lemon mint. Traveling in a port city. I'm very, very lucky. I love Egypt so much. I'm so lucky to be here. People are so friendly, so helpful, so welcoming. Yeah, beautiful. Sauce is awesome. I guess it's just like pure butter. I wonder what makes it orange, because the sauce is a little bit orange. Who knows? Maybe it's the oranges. No. Yeah. Huge, dude. Coming straight from the Red Sea, fresh, daily. Wow. So, yeah, this has been a great stay in Suez. I will be moving on and working my way up. Yeah, there's so many places to see in Egypt that I, in my 4 years of living here, have never visited or explored. And I'm really glad I had the opportunity to go to Suez. Had my trip not been interrupted by that accident, I wouldn't have come to Suez. My plan was to go straight to Ismailia. But then I figured, well, since I'm in Cairo, I might as well just cut across and at least see Suez before going up, you know? And I'm really happy I was able to see this city, visit. But yeah, I'm not gonna eat the whole plate in front of you guys, but this is Fares, this is Suez. It's been a beautiful few days here. And yeah, make sure to subscribe, and of course, stay tuned for upcoming vlogs as we continue this road trip along the canal and then into the Delta once again. So, all right, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you on the next one. Ma salama.